Gonzo on the restart. Weaves his way, fires, and scores.
We get to attack, coming middle, trying to free himself
up, shot, score! Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot, and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin.
He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow.
Meanwhile, Arbusto. One-handed shot is up and in. Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up Gabord, and it's time to pluck a chicken.
No. But a good one-handed scoop up.
Roy, and he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice play.
Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground. Chase, extra feed, shot, score, game over. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Derry. Nick and Astis, Roger, how with you? It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Bedford at Pinkerton. Final day of the regular season statewide, and each of these two Division I programs in seek of a big win, a potential playoff seeding implication win. And the rest of the Division I tournament field having their eyes glued to the screen for this one as well. It's a big game, about as big as it gets in terms of regular season affairs. We'll check in with Pinkerton. Perennial power under head coach Steve Gaudreau. 12-5 through the first 17 games. They come in off a blowout win back on Monday over Nashua North. The Astros have challenged themselves in terms of the out-of-state portion of the schedule. 3 of the 5 defeats were against non-New Hampshire opponents. And as Coach Gaudreau and the rest of his staff stand with the seniors on Senior Day. As you can see, the festivities in full swing here. A large senior class having their moment in the sun. Meanwhile, Bedford, much improved from a year ago under first-year head coach Drew Bordeaux. Bedford comes in winners of 4 straight, nursing an 11-4 record, and a win today would put them as the number 2 seed in next week's Division I tournament. A win for the Astros would pen Pinkerton as the 3 spot, and in that scenario, Exeter would finish as the 2. So both teams with a lot to play for, and as we expect, Roger, 2 of the better teams in terms of how they've been playing lately as well. These teams seemingly have improved every week.
Well, I'll tell you, I can certainly speak for the Bedford Bulldogs, having probably a little more insight to that team than any other team aside from Exeter. But let me put it to you this way. Out of those 4 wins, they are double-digit scores every single game. And they gave up on the defensive side 3, 2, 5, and 3 goals. So this is truly a team that is, as we have said in prior broadcasts, that is peaking at the right time. They took apart Londonderry the other night, 16-3, which was not expected at all. Londonderry is in the mix, fighting for a playoff spot at that point too. Not fighting for an actual spot, but fighting to get to that 4th spot so that they could have a home game in the quarterfinals, and it just didn't work out. Pinkerton, they have been very, very strong since about the 2nd game of the year when they have really challenged their team, and they're looking really, really good as they head into the playoffs as well.
Yeah, both these teams adopting that challenge yourself mentality and scheduled themselves. Some of the New England, or at least Massachusetts, heavyweights. Bedford, they lost against Marblehead, but challenged themselves there. And
yeah, one goal loss there, and they were up in the 4th quarter on that, just the same as they were with Exeter.
Yeah, and then with Pinkerton, took on Hingham, who is a top 3 program, according to many in Massachusetts. Longmeadow on that schedule, along with Andover as well. And the only 2 teams to beat these 2 teams, in state at least, are Bishop Girton and Exeter.
That's correct, and I got to tell you, that Exeter game, the Bulldogs were 1 bad pass on a clear away from winning that game by 1. They were up by 1 late in the 4th quarter. Turnover caused a scoring chance. Exeter put it in, and then Nick Sullivan scored a late goal wraparound, which we've seen him do several times this year to ice the win for Exeter. This is a game of pride for the Bulldogs, I got to tell you. The first time the varsity program ever beat Pinkerton, we were in Division II at that time. It was 2014. It was a 10-9 win. It was a buzzer beater, kind of an oddball goal. And I don't believe the Bulldogs have beaten Pinkerton since then. So it's a 9-year drought without a win against Pinkerton. And I know the coaching staff and this team is well aware of that.
Measuring stick game for both teams with
Indeed.
Playoff implications. It does not get any bigger than this on the final day of the regular season. All right, we've got the national anthem and then the starting lineups to get to, and then face-off coming quickly here at the top of the hour, less than 5 minutes out. So don't go away. The start of everything on the other side is Bedford and Pinkerton square off in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses, from local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Closing in on the opening face-off here in Derry. Final day of the regular season statewide. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, in our Game of the Week. Presented by Beals Insurance. A good crowd on hand. Senior day for Pinkerton. Playoff seeding on the line. The Bulldogs with a win would make it 5 in a row. They would capture the number 2 seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Pinkerton with a win can finish as high as 3rd. And, of course, Exeter kind of caught in the middle here as the neutral observer. I suppose they would be cheering for the Astros because a Pinkerton win would mean Exeter would then be the number 2 seed. So a lot on the line here as the players meet at midfield. Temperature right now it's 72 degrees, not a cloud in the sky here in Derry. A gorgeous
Beautiful.
late afternoon game, a bit of a breeze, but can't ask for better conditions. All right, Roger, what does it come down to? Give us some keys here both ways for both Bedford and Pinkerton.
Yes, face-off circle. Roberto has got to try and manage as much as he can from our buddy Cole Frank. That's number one. Number two, the Bedford defense has got to continue being a dominant force out there. Not only the long poles at close, but their two LSMs, Riccio and Hadley. And Pinkerton's just got to play Pinkerton's game.
All right, here we go. Bulldogs in black, Astros in white, and Pinkerton's going to win the faceoff. That's Cole Frank, widely regarded as the best in the business, the junior on his way to Lehigh. He's going to trot off the field, and the Pinkerton Academy attack now in full swing. Pass there, in and out of the stick of the intended target, Michael Uber. It's going to roll all the way across the far sideline, out of bounds. And the ball turned over to Bedford here early.
Yeah, they were looking to hit Uber on the crease there, and it was a strong enough pass that just kept going. Had a little leg on it, too.
Get a look at this Astro ride here as Bedford comes on the clear in their own end. Ball is out. It's Bennett Matthews, the freshman. One of the few underclassmen either way expected to get time here.
He had a very good game the other night against Londonderry. I understand he had a hat trick where Derek Kaliza for the Bulldogs, he had 7 goals. They were up 11-0 at halftime in that game, Nick.
Kaliza, the junior, has really turned it on over the last couple of weeks, as you mentioned, and was their leading scorer a year ago as a sophomore.
Yeah, he reached the 100-goal mark in that game as well.
Minute gone by here. Bedford on their opening trip. This is the senior Sean Toscano. One of 5 captains on the roster. A lot of experience both ways, as we mentioned. Toscano with a fake, trying to set up Bennett. And there's the shot from the youngster, Bennett Matthews, about 11 yards out or so. That one whizzes by the cage. Speaking of the cage, the man in it is Curtis Michaud, senior for Pinkerton, on his way to Riviere next year. And he's been on the short list of best Division I goaltenders for quite a while.
He sure has, and as we mentioned in the Londonderry broadcast against Pinkerton, he had just committed to Riviere. So he's on his way to a local school here, and I know Coach Delano will be ready for that.
There's a shot on the run that won't go. That's Zach Griffin, one of the 5 captains, the senior. Bedford will keep it here now with 2 minutes gone by. Bulldogs hoping to strike first and break this scoreless tie.
I would imagine that this is part of the strategy as well, Nick. Possession, keep the ball away from the Astros. Nice controlled offense. This is what they did against Exeter in that game, thus the low score.
There's Matthews, picked up on the switch. The freshman will trot backwards to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that dodge there just shows you the maturity that Bennett has already gained this season. He would have tried to take that in earlier in the season. Now not so much.
His pass broken up. Ball still up in the air, goes skyward. Kaliza going to get under it. And the junior able to pull that one in. Keep the ball at this end of the field with Bedford. Now 3 minutes gone by. No score here in the first.
Okay, new set by the Bulldogs here. Going to sweep right.
Toscano, a dodge to his left, now back to his right.
Here it is.
Senior looking over for Kaliza. The pass dropped in the middle. And then a whistle here as a Pinkerton player goes tumbling.
Ooh.
Astros rewarded possession. The defender who took the spill, Cody Santamassimo, the junior midi. Here is Santamassimo. No problem as he escapes Bedford pressure across midfield. Pinkerton's got the clear, and the Astros set themselves up here for trip number 2 with 3.5 gone by. It was a lengthy possession there, Roger, for Bedford. Both teams seemingly going to take their time today, or no, as we get a shot on the run. Uber swallowed up there in net by the goaltender, Ian Fletcher. Junior gets his first save for the Bulldogs.
Well, I think that's certainly going to be Bedford's tact here. Astros have always been a fast run transition team. But, we've seen both teams play settled offenses fairly frequently. We did not broadcast that Pinkerton-Exeter game, but that was a 5-4 win by Exeter, and Pinkerton was up most of that game, but same kind of game, though. Very methodical, good skills, hold the ball, not a lot of mistakes. That's what we're seeing here today.
Bedford on trip number 2, going to work the perimeter. Some chatter here defensively from the Astros. Griffin, top of the box, trying to work his way right. Nowhere to go. Pinkerton doing a pretty good job on the switch here early.
Yeah.
As we've seen the communication strong really all season.
And this is what you do, though. Two tough teams. Being patient, finding seams, see who cracks first.
Already 5 minutes gone by. Pinkerton bench getting in on the chatter as well.
We've seen this set before by the Bulldogs. This is good.
They draw the slide. And now heading middle is Brody Helton. Another one of these freshmen for Bedford. That shot taken in off the bounce by the goaltender, Michu. Quick outlet is dropped by the long pole, and then he's dropped on the 30-yard line.
I'm going to call a hold here, yeah, for sure. Yep, absolutely.
It'll give Bedford the ball. The Bulldog ride has caused a couple of problems here early. And Bedford again will have a crack here to strike first as we near the midway point first quarter. Griffin.
Nothing there. Good defense.
Yeah, it's Alec Henry, the midfielder.
Good job. Good pursuit.
Bulldogs continue to cycle. Helton again. Defender here is Jacob No, the senior. Freshman looking to get the edge to his right. Shot there. He's going to roll through. Oh, it appeared like Michu may have gotten a piece, but the ball rolls behind the senior goaltender, and Bedford's going to take a 1-0 lead at the exact midway point of this first quarter.
Yeah, he actually did get a piece of that. You're right. He went down with the shot. He saw it clearly. Let's see if we can see what body part it went off of, because I don't think it went off his stick. It went off his leg. Looks like it went off his leg. We'll get a better view here. Yeah, looks like it went off Curtis's right leg. Good shot, though, by Helton to get that 5-hole opened up and saw it. Ooh.
So the freshman Brody Helton gives Bedford a 1-0 lead here. Meanwhile, a whistle and a violation against Cole Frank is going to give Bedford the ball here. So the Bulldogs nursing a 1-0 lead inside of 6 minutes first quarter, and that's got the bench hopped up. Coach Bordeaux, meanwhile, raising both hands above his head. He's got a double thumbs up calling out the play. Matthews to his right is going to fire a bouncer and score one over the shoulder of Michu to give Bedford a 2-0 lead.
Now, our first broadcast this season with Bedford, I said to you that Bennett Matthews we're going to be talking about him for the next 4 years. And this kid already has learned how to shoot. And again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but the shot selection in the last 4 games by Bishop Girton, Londonderry, Bedford, Exeter has been just absolutely amazing. Even Timberlane the other day. Timberlane had some really good shots by Braden Bowman, so impressive.
Meanwhile, this one a violation against Bedford. Frank going to stay on the field, and he's got his foot on the gas. Junior had his eye on the cage for a moment. Get rid of it to his teammate Matt Fioli, one of the co-captains on his way to Franklin Pierce, and the senior going to restart the offense here. This is Ryan Lynch, another one of these experienced starters for Pinkerton, many of them multi-year starters. Bedford likes the effort defensively. Again, their sideline getting vocal as Uber is forced to retreat on the far wing. Inside of 5 minutes first quarter. Pinkerton trailing 2-0, looking to get on the board here.
Bedford with some good defense here. He's open.
To his right. This is Ben Quintilani. Back out. Now Joey Gallo with a touch. Gallo going to head back to midfield.
Watch for the quick slide here. Bordeaux's getting traffic.
Gallo wants one for himself. That bouncer well wide. Ends up out of play in the corner. Uber ready for the restart.
Yeah, Luke Sy with good coverage there.
Bedford's Evan Shabani with the defensive middies. Now jogging with Uber behind the cage. Astros with Lynch in the area as well. Uber going to reverse direction to his right. No room to get a wraparound off. They'll again cycle it back near side. Quintilani downhill, lowers the shoulder. Gallo behind the net, going to tiptoe.
Sheridan's been playing him tough.
Spins near side. Here comes a slide. Lynch going to fight him off with one arm. Back behind the cage. Richard Wong going to cycle it. Fioli, and now back up top for Uber. Step down shot goes off the crossbar. This one going to rattle all the way back to midfield before it goes out of play.
Offside.
And the officials are going to give this one to Bedford.
Yeah, he was offsides.
So a pretty lengthy possession there for the Astros, the longest of this first quarter so far. And that one almost got them on the board, but Uber about an inch or so off, and that one rattles back eventually into the possession of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, good defense on both teams here.
2-0. Bedford with a couple of goals from a couple of freshmen, Brody Helton and Bennett Matthews. 30 seconds apart, about midway through the frame. We tick down now to the 3-minute mark here, first quarter, and Bedford got a chance to go up 3-0 on the road.
Yeah, the senior captain Toscano's out there with the two freshmen on the midfield line. Sean hasn't had an overwhelming stat season, but through the grapevine, I'm hearing that he is the leader in the locker room. He is a great force.
Been a part of the program for a long time, multi-sport athlete, a part of that championship winning basketball team. And ironically enough, the championship matchup was Bedford Pinkerton, so Toscano will be missed for sure. Meanwhile, Wong going to tiptoe, stay inbounds in front of the Bulldog sideline. And now Gallo will cycle it back for Uber. Pinkerton trying to get on the board, trailing 2-0. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Opening quarter.
Sean had two brothers in the Bedford program as well. Ryan, who's now a football player at UNH.
Right.
Brother Paul, the oldest, just getting out of the Merchant Marine.
Step down, Quintilani.
Great save.
That rattled the cage as well?
I think it hit his foot.
Thought I heard the vibration noise over there. We'll get another look.
See here. Maybe you're right.
Pretty good step down. And
Yeah, it might be right, Nick.
Lynch, meanwhile, a bouncing attempt. Foot race to the corner. Pinkerton will win that race. Good hustle by Matt Fioli. Inside of 2 minutes. Well, that's one thing we've noticed here in the first quarter, Roger. Neither team afraid of the bouncing shot, right? We've seen a lot of those placed on the carpet, for better or worse, both ways.
Yeah, and I'm very impressed. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that about teams at this point in the season, and it seems to be a consistent thread.
Got a timeout here. Pinkerton wants to talk it over with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast. Visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. Also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks Showcase and Development for College Lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. By Spectrum Monthly, powerful local advertising solutions. Find out more at SpectrumMonthly.com. And finally by Roger Howe Real Estate, part of the Bean Group. Call 603-247-1220 1583. Nick and Astis with Roger Howe. Final day of the regular season statewide. These are the last two Division I teams with playoff aspirations. Nashua North will play tomorrow to officially round out the calendar, but as we know, a lot on the line, and not just for these two teams either. Bedford with a win, they could finish as the number 2 seed. A loss for Pinkerton would drop them down to 4. The Astros win today, they're the 3 seed, and Exeter would become the 2. Meanwhile, out of the timeout, Astros trying to get on the board. It's been a stubborn Bulldog defense. Wong behind the cage, going to maneuver near side right, draws the slide. Nice. The shot won't get through. It's swallowed up by the defender, who comes up with the ground ball. It's a good play by the long pole, Brian Riccio.
Love the positioning there on the defense from Fletcher to Riccio, holding tight against the post.
Meanwhile, pass off target. Astros get to it. There's a hit here near side. Coach Gaudreau wanted a flag. Gallo, meanwhile, going to slow down along the near wing. Takes a look at the clock. We're down to 30 seconds. Pinkerton may be thinking one shot here, trailing 2-0. Huber going to jog all the way to the far side. Shabani, the defender, with him. And now the senior looks for the jab step, comes to his right. Fires one across the zone. Gallo, step down, bouncer, knocked aside by the defender, or the goaltender, excuse me.
Oh, no!
Another rebound goal and a swallowed-up opportunity for Richard Wong, the forgotten-about player there on the weak side. The junior attackman, right place, right time, and Pinkerton's on the board here with less than 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Man, how many times have we seen that this season, that with a single digit on the clock in any quarter, we end up seeing just a strange sequence of events that creates the goal. But Fletcher made a great save on this first one and then just flubbered over. Crazy.
Yeah, Fletcher read it very well initially. It's looked good here so far, but can't stop Wong from that close up front. Meanwhile, another whistle here on the faceoff. That's the third one we've seen. It's the second violation against Frank. Bedford thinking one more shot perhaps, but this one not going to happen as it goes skyward, and that'll do it here for the first quarter in Pinkerton. Bedford, a 2-0 lead after 12 minutes of play. Astros look for a response when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, back here in Derry. Got ourselves a 2-1 game. I misspoke there before the end of the break. 2-1. Our score. Bedford struck first. A pair of goals from a pair of freshmen about midway through that first quarter. Brody Helton and then Bennett Matthews. And then in the tail end of the quarter, just 8 seconds remaining, Richard Wong gets himself a juicy rebound, and that's where we are, 2-1 after 12 minutes of play. The teams will switch hands here, of course, in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, a well-played quarter by both teams. Can't say much more than that. A defensive struggle, which, coming from a defender that played the game, I love that. But I'm sure we're not going to see that same quarter here.
Meanwhile, this one is going to roll towards Bedford. And that's a win for Dalton Roberto. Senior faceoff man for Bedford. He's held his own against Cole Frank early. And speaking of Frank, the junior a little shaken up at midfield for Pinkerton.
Helmet off.
They'll try and walk it off, and now is going to crouch down here as Coach Gaudreau makes his way to midfield. You obviously hate to see that.
Oh, he ran into the ref. He ran into Vinny.
It's Vinny Perino, the longtime official. And a rough landing there for Frank. So this Derry crowd holding their breath.
I'm sorry, that wasn't Vinny. I think that's Pat Richard on the far side. Vinny's on the near side here.
Well, a round of applause.
Yeah,
Is Frank on his feet. And looks okay. Walking off under his own power here to the home sideline. So.
Looks like his head did hit the shoulder of the official.
All right. Bedford ready to go. Bulldogs looking for a win. It would be their 5th straight. And it would also ensure the number 2 seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. As the Bulldogs would finish the campaign at 12-4, the first under new head coach Drew Bordeaux. Pass across the zone, going to flutter through. Eventually scooped up here by Griffin. Bedford will pull it back out here. Sean Toscano to his right, picked up on the switch. Now behind the cage with a touch, this is Colton Poole, the senior attackman.
Poole also had a very good game the other night against Londonderry.
Matthews looks his weak side teammate picked up and almost went in the goal. That one stays wide though. Mishu out of the cage and now it's vacant.
No.
Matthews didn't have the pass. Eventually a shot and a score from the Bulldogs' Luke Purnell. The sophomore attackman is the man who benefits from the chaos there. Bedford reclaims a 2-goal edge. It's 3-1.
Well, again, we're going to talk about Bennett Matthews because he had eaten me fooled. I thought he was going to take that shot. He kind of quick hitched and then got the ball over to Luke Purnell, and he just pockets it. Great play. This is something we haven't seen in a Bedford team in quite some time. A really organized, skilled offensive 6 out there, all working together. We see it all the time in Pinkerton and Exeter and Bishop Girton, Portsmouth, Derryfield especially. These guys look like they're all working on the same wavelength.
Meanwhile, Frank, who was shaken up a moment ago, able to win the face-off and now finally jogs off the field. As Pinkerton looks to spread it out here on their first possession of the second quarter. But now nearly 2 minutes gone by. Lynch across the zone. Tried to hook up with Wong along the pole. The pass off target, and Wong is in the end able to keep it in bounds just barely in the corner.
Yeah, they called that a shot from the far side, and Kevin Sheridan is really muscling up on Lynch, and that was some good defense there.
Number 4 on number 4 if we're going by the jerseys.
Watch it, watch it, watch it.
Shot, score. That's Benjamin Quintilani, the midfielder, able to weave his way towards the net along the near side and then pull the trigger at the right moment. A good shot and a good score for the home team. They're back within 1 at 3-2.
Yeah, you could see this coming. You could see it coming. The opening right here, no real close slide, and then a stick check by Henryshawn. That's just not how you play the slide.
So Quintilani got the home team back within striking distance, and now Cole Frank another win. Pinkerton looks to keep the momentum. 2.5 now gone, third quarter, a chance to tie for the Astros.
I like Kerr's aggressiveness here against
Tristan Kerr, the junior defender. Bouncing shot, no problem there for Ian Fletcher.
Yeah,
and now the junior out of the cage.
Fioli had pressure on that shot.
Pass, though, goes astray, picked up by Gallo. Pinkerton's got numbers. Gallo cut off by Sheridan. Back up top for Lynch. Going to spin, going to fire a tough one. Kicked aside by Fletcher, out of play. It'll stay with the Astros.
Yeah, this has been, if there's anything that the Bulldogs have had difficulty with in breakdown and during the game, has been their clearing game. It's gotten a lot better than it was, but still, some errant passes, unforced errors.
Been a physical first half with two of the more physical teams, two of the more respected rides, perhaps statewide, making it difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, this is, and they're playing the game right. No flags yet.
Right. Been a fast-moving first half as well.
Yeah.
Now 3.5 gone in the second quarter. Bedford a 2-0 lead early. Freshman Brody Helton, freshman Bennett Matthews, 30 seconds apart. Made it 2-0 midway through the first quarter. Pinkerton in the closing seconds get on the board from Richard Wong.
Good defense by Helton. Oh, he lost him.
Uber again, a kick save. Well, that may have hit metal. Either way, it's loose here near midfield. Two players go tumbling. We get a whistle. And again, Pinkerton going to keep it as the home crowd likes what they see.
Yeah, I don't like that call. I think he was going for the ball, and this is an earlier play on Uber, but
you see Uber there, took a shot. Pretty good one from Sheridan.
Lynch.
Shot, score. It's Lynch. Looks like you give a little fake up top and then beat Fletcher down low for his first goal. And we're tied at 3 with now 4 minutes gone by second quarter.
Yeah, I'd be calling a timeout right now, kind of like what you see in basketball sometimes, is that the momentum shift starts to really change the pace of the game and how things are going. And when you're on the road like this with the Bulldogs, and you can't afford to have that get away from you, and all of a sudden the game is tied here.
Back-to-back goals from the Astros. Quintilani a moment ago, and now Ryan Lynch, and Cole Frank has won his third straight face-off. Astros starting to get an advantage at the X after Bedford's face-off man, Dalton Roberto, pretty much held his own in that first quarter.
Yeah, we were 2-2 even, but there were a violation on Bedford and 2 on Pinkerton, so not a lot of technique getting those wins.
Meanwhile, Uber finds Gallo, a little shot fake, goes to his right, lets this one whiz by. Heads up play behind the net by Wong to extend the possession for Pinkerton.
Yeah, Joey's not feeling it. He's taken 3 shots, and he's missed the net every time. Oh, good hack. Good hack. That's going to go block. Oh, he's on the line.
Kept in play by Fioli. Spencer Henrishon trying to stay with him. Fioli looking for some relief. Sheridan's all over him. Now the Astros will reset here as we have played 5 minutes second quarter. Pinkerton looking for their first lead. And a third straight goal would also be the longest streak either way in this first half. Meanwhile, Lynch going to draw the slide, escapes the double team with one arm, goes down, ball out, scooped up by Wong, but then his pass is wide, intended for Fioli. Fioli, though, will keep it in bounds just barely. And again, Pinkerton will restart.
Boy, they are working Ryan Lynch hard down low.
Uber on the move, bouncer. Shot goes over the head of 2 players. Lynch will get to it in the corner. And again, Pinkerton will have another try as we near the midway point, second quarter. Lynch a bouncing pass here. May have been hit on the release. Wong goes down. So does Luke Tsai for Bedford. Luke Tsai, the senior, and now back out for Gallo. Both teams have had their lengthy possessions in this first half. This one is a long one for Pinkerton.
Too soon.
Shot here, shot and score for Matt Fioli. The senior attackman on his way to Franklin Pierce, able to light the lamp and give Pinkerton their first lead. But now inside of 6 minutes to go until halftime.
Hey, I don't mind the quick slide, but I don't like the timing of this slide. Much too soon. Look how far out the defender comes. Nobody to cover on the backside with Fioli. You got to wait just a little bit, almost like you're dealing with a fast break.
Face off for Frank. Thought he had it. Roberto harassing from behind, and now it's Quintilani comes in from the wing. Takes a big shot there from Helton, who just dropped the right shoulder. Sent the Astro flying, but his teammate got his back with the loose ball, but then this long outlet pass is too long. intended for Fioli, who couldn't track it down along the near sideline, and the Bulldog ride causes another turnover.
Yeah, this might be a little early to say this, but this is a critical clear for the Bulldogs. 3 straight goals against this defense is really not something they're used to dealing with, and they need a good possession, and they're going to get it.
Yep. Short pass taken near side. Now Griffin will get rid of it.
Don't be surprised to see a timeout here if there's pressure.
This is Poole one-on-one against Brendan Carney, freshman defender for Pinkerton. Griffin on the near slot, steps down, got shot off and score it?
They're going to call it. I think they're going to call it.
The officials want to take a quick look. That one tough to tell, but the Bulldogs certainly did not hesitate with the celebration there. Meanwhile, Michaud looks upset in the cage for Pinkerton.
Yeah.
But it will count, and we are tied again at 4.
Hey, hang on to this clip, Ben. You got to run that again. Wow.
So Griffin gets credit. Did get the step on the defender, Alec Henry, and then beats Michaud just barely up top. That ends a 3-0 run from Pinkerton.
Oh, that's a hold. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Going to give this to the Astros. Bedford fans who made the short trip to Derry not happy. You can hear them objecting from behind the visitor sideline.
Me too, honestly.
So Pinkerton, inside of 5 minutes, looks to retake the lead here. This is Scala, Adam Scala, junior attackman. We know about the senior class for this Pinkerton group. They were honored before the game. A lot of them are multi-year starters. But what does not oftentimes, Roger, get covered in that conversation is how good some of the players are that will be back next year. It's a strong junior class. Seen a couple of freshmen out there along with some sophomores. Quintilani has been heard from. So the future bright for Pinkerton, even though they are graduating a pretty experienced senior class here in 23.
Yeah, I would say that is absolutely true, and I've said it before in broadcasts, not only this year but in years past, that Pinkerton in the Derry youth program just knows how to reload, and they just continue to do that. Bedford as well. The good news for them in goal is that Tyler LeBlanc, the backup goalie, he is very good as well.
Won't get through from Scala. It looked like it went off maybe a shoulder pad or a helmet on its way out of bounds, so it'll stay with Pinkerton. So we work down towards 3 minutes remaining in this second quarter. It's been back and forth.
Nice turn.
Uber shot and score. Boy, that one from a tough angle and from some distance. Doesn't matter as the senior midfielder got his first this afternoon, and Pinkerton is back out in front 5-4.
Yeah, nice play by Michael Uber here. I think the defender just gave a little off pressure. Yeah, he was playing very laxed on him. He got over goal line extended into that first 5 yards and laid off him, didn't stay hard on him, and he made a quick turn. Good play. Another one? Another violation on So Roberto's trying to get the jump, and it's not working.
The officials have called that tight. So we've seen a number of violations both ways in this first half.
Yeah, that's the second one against Roberto in this quarter. And I think Helton's going to go. Oh, nice save by Fletcher.
It was a step-down shot for Cole Frank, who remained out there with the attack after the face-off victory. No problem for Ian Fletcher. Meanwhile, the first penalty has been called here. Coach Bordeaux at midfield looking for an explanation. It's been a physical matchup between Roberto and Frank.
I didn't see it, so I'm not sure, but Roberto's got to be a little bit frustrated with his...
Yeah, he's still voicing his opinion as he finally drops to his right knee in the penalty box. So the first EMO either way, and Pinkerton gets to work right away. It's Fioli. Found a hole in the defense. The pass is on the money. And Fioli's got number 2 here as Pinkerton goes up by 2 for the first time, 6-4.
Now, maybe this is where that very patient offense is starting to wear down the Bedford defenders. This is the second goal in a row where I've seen some very soft defense, and they're really kind of ball watching here on that EMO.
So 6-4. Now inside of 3 minutes remaining, Frank has had the advantage at the face-off X. Hoping to keep the momentum train on the Pinkerton side here, but another whistle.
Wow.
And another Bedford violation,
Wow.
and again that's got the Bulldog fans upset.
Third one.
Meanwhile, Quintilani on the restart was jammed up. His pass is too hot. But it's backed up just in time by Fioli. He's been Johnny on the spot or Johnny on the sideline
All right.
a few times in this first half. Meanwhile, timeout Pinkerton. Coach Gaudreau hits the pause button here with 2:26 to play until halftime. Pinkerton on top 6-4, threatening to go up 3 for the first time.
Wow. Yeah, I think I pegged it for once. This quarter ran away from what was the first quarter, and here we are with, 7 goals scored here in the first 10 minutes, 10 and 9.5 minutes. Kind of disappointing, I think, on the Bedford side that they're not playing as tough a defense as they started off with.
Well, 5 of the 6 Pinkerton goals have been here in the second quarter.
Yeah. This timeout that Pinkerton is calling is really, I think, more than likely a strategy possession type timeout. They're not tired, that's for sure. Bedford, in my opinion, should have called a timeout a little bit earlier to kind of regroup and get away from the run that was happening there when they had scored 3 straight before the 6-minute mark. But hey, they got to pull it together here, and they've been doing it all season, and we'll see what they can do here. Got to stop the bleeding quick.
Again, a Pinkerton win would mean that the Astros finish 3rd. And we'll have the 3rd seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. A loss for Bedford would drop them down to 4. And of course, a win for the Bulldogs would have Bedford at 12-4 overall, good enough for the 2nd seed. Pinkerton would drop to the 4 seed.
Let's talk about what you had mentioned earlier about reloading from the senior class. And the Bedford defenders, with the exception of Nick Hadley, every single one of their defenders, whether it's a long pole or a defending midfielder, they'll all be back next year, all of them.
By the way, the man you saw a moment ago was, of course, Brian O'Reilly, the acting athletic director and still football coach, former head lacrosse coach here at Pinkerton. Multiple championships, as we know, across the decades, across the years. He's down at about the 10-yard line, just observing here. And we've asked Coach Gaudreau about his presence. He says about as hands-off as an athletic director could be.
Exactly. A
lot of trust between those two. And Coach Gaudreau, of course, was an assistant under Coach O'Reilly for several years before he became the head coach. All right, Astros played with the momentum, have outscored Bedford here in the second quarter by a count of 5-2. Take us inside the 2-minute mark before halftime. Reminder coming up at halftime, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, and more with our halftime report, which comes your way momentarily. Meanwhile, Lynch, a little breakdancing behind the net, going to go to his feet, leave his feet, drop to his knees, fire a shot that goes wide, and a whistle will keep it here with Pinkerton.
I think Bedford got lucky there. That was a hold, and he had the ball in his stick, and they eventually called a loose ball push, but that was right on the cusp of being a yellow flag.
That Lynn Sheridan matchup has been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Uber, a spin move, fires on the run. It went wide.
And let's not forget, this possession by the Astros is a result of another failed Bulldog clear. Unforced error on the pass that didn't need to be made.
Lynch draws a slide, ball's out. Fioli, the inside track, 2 Bulldogs with him. Takes a shot in the head, ball flies out of bounds, and Bedford will get it back. Fioli wanted a whistle. Kerr got a pretty good whack there. And now again, Bedford trying to clear it here as we hit 1 minute to go before halftime. Helton jogging to his right. Quinolani with him step for step.
Get a timeout here. There we go.
Yep. Coach Bordeaux going to ask for one, get one. Bedford looks to draw something up here with 50 seconds remaining, trailing 6-4. Roger, when is it too early to plan for the last shot?
Oh, I mean, when you're down.
Is that something Bedford's considering here?
I think you go to the goal. I mean, you can score 2 goals in 30 seconds. So where are we at on the clock
50.
here? We're at 50. I mean, I go to the goal. I set up a play here. I'm not playing for the last shot. Might play for the last shot if you're down by 1, and you want to tie it, or if you're up by 1 or 2. But right here, no. You got to make an opportunity happen. Hopefully, you get something in here. You win the face-off, and you pop another one in here and go in at halftime feeling good about yourself. That's what I would do.
And what about Pinkerton? What are they saying down there in the huddle with Coach Gaudreau?
I would not be surprised if we see Ridge Crossman up here, Cam Leeds up here, maybe even doing a double as they get the whistle started here. But, they're going to get the ball back. I mean, your strategy here is to not sit back and wait. So I don't think they're going to pack it in. But, maybe try and get the ball away here, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as far as any double is concerned. In fact, it's too far into the box for a double here. So I think that they're just going to play it up.
We got 4 poles out there.
Yeah.
Bedford going to bring it out with Matthews. Swings it far side for Griffin. A quick game of catch here is going to bring the clock down to 40 seconds.
He's going to play for first, maybe. Or, last shot here.
Bulldogs in no apparent hurry here, down to 30 seconds.
I mean, if you think about it, this is really the second possession they've had this deep this quarter.
Griffin.
Oh, Kaliza.
Looks near side. That pass contested, intended for Kaliza. Big hit here thrown by Griffin.
Nice.
Leads in the mix for Pinkerton. This one's still loose.
Oh, and that's going to go black.
Kaliza shoved from behind, wanted a whistle, and I think that's the call. Yes, it will stay here.
Yeah.
But Bedford down to just 7.6 seconds, going to have to hurry. Griffin up top, Matthews to his right, spins left, the freshman tosses far side, Toscano, step down, swallowed up by Mishu, and that'll do it. Pinkerton, after trailing 2-0, outscore the Bulldogs 5-2 in the second quarter, and take a 6-4 lead into the locker room at halftime here in the regular season finale. As we see 6-4 in favor of Pinkerton after 24 minutes.
Yeah, great first quarter. Both teams very competitive, and Pinkerton stole the show here in the second. With the exception of a couple of lackadaisical defensive efforts out there, which created 2 scoring chances for Pinkerton. They would probably only be up by 1 right now. But the EMO goal hurts, and that other play by Lynch, that's what hurt them on defense. Everything else, just good play by Pinkerton.
Pretty fast-moving first half, just 43 minutes from start to finish.
Yeah.
1 30-second penalty was called. My type of game here. Good tempo. As we move
it is Friday, isn't it?
The third quarter on Memorial Day weekend. All right, 6-4 Pinkerton coming up. Full recap. Roger will break down the stats. Ben's got the highlights. And, of course, we all have the out-of-town scoreboard to take a look at as well. Pinkerton, a 6-4 lead at halftime over Bedford. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Halftime here in Derry. Pinkerton out in front of Bedford. 6-4 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Another game with a lot of postseason implications. The state tournaments begin next week. And, of course, in Division I, everything hinges, at least in the top part of the seedings, on this result. Bedford with a win can finish as the number 2 seed. A win today would be their 5th in a row. It would improve the Bulldogs to 12-4. Pinkerton with a loss would drop to number 4 and finish up at 12-6. If the Astros win here on their senior day, well, they would improve to 13-5 and finish 3rd behind Exeter, who owns the tiebreaker over the Astros. Bedford would fall to 4th and have to host Merrimack in the quarterfinal round. Speaking of Merrimack, they're in action today against Nashua South in the regular season finale. I misspoke earlier and said North was actually in action this weekend. That is fake news. So 2 Division I games being played today, and that will solidify the seedings for next week. All right, Bedford got off to the start they were hoping for. 2 freshmen checked in 30 seconds apart about midway through that first quarter. Brody Halton and then Bennett Matthews. 1-0 and then 2-0 in that order. Pinkerton didn't get on the board until the tail end of that first quarter, less than 8 seconds remaining. And the Astro junior attackman Richard Wong got himself a juicy rebound to make it 2-1 after one. Then the Astros seemingly came alive in the second quarter. However, Bedford would actually strike first in that second quarter. Luke Purnell, a little over a minute in, stretched the Bulldog lead to 3-1. Then Pinkerton got on a roll, scoring 3 straight. Benjamin Quintilani, the sophomore, made it 3-2. Ryan Lynch able to shake off Kevin Sheridan for a moment. Tied the game at 3. And then the home team's first lead came from Matt Fioli. Inside of 6 minutes, 4-3 Pinkerton at that point, but it was short-lived as Zach Griffin about a minute later able to get one over the shoulder of the goaltender, Mishu, and tie the game at 4. Pinkerton wrestled the lead back with Michael Uber's lone goal of that first half, 5-4 Astros at that point. Then on the EMO, as Pinkerton made Bedford pay for the lone penalty either way in that first half. Fioli cashes in for his second with inside of 3 minutes to go, 6-4 at that point, and that's where we are here to begin this third quarter. Pinkerton out in front of Bedford, 6-4.
Yeah, 2 things. Bedford's got to find a way to neutralize Cole Frank. That was the difference in the second quarter. Cole won 7 out of the 8 faceoffs, and here he starts off again. And then, of course, Bedford's got to get back to their solid defensive set out there, and stop ball watching, and pay attention. Stay with it.
Meanwhile, we got a whistle away from the ball here. Seems like
clock didn't stop.
Yeah.
The clock
never started.
Never started. My bad.
So we'll take at least 5 seconds off the board here.
That's good.
Coach Bordeaux giving some instructions here to this Bulldog defense. Both defenses, Roger, had their moments in that first half. The ride forced several turnovers, and the shots were somewhat hard to come by, at least quality shots, for the most part in that first half.
Yes, they were, and Fletcher was challenged several times. He had 6 saves in that first quarter, that first half, and Sheridan just now with his battle against Ryan Lynch neutralizes Ryan, gets him in a spot where he doesn't have a good shot.
Meanwhile, out of a crowd.
Get out of there.
Dylan Soden trying to escape near side. A big hit. Ball still in bounds. Another collision.
How?
Whistle as Helton does scoop it for Bedford. And a push here is going to go against the Astros.
Now, I don't know why that wouldn't have been a play on. Maybe we're not doing play on anymore. I don't know, but...
Well, Griffin's ready to go here. An immediate sprint upon hearing the restart whistle. And now it'll be pulled out here for Bennett Matthews. Coach Bordeaux going to take Helton off the field and allow Toscano to go downhill here to his right. The senior going to fire on the run. Michoud got a piece. There's a new goaltender, actually, Roger. Tyler LeBlanc. Sorry, a senior going to Newbury in there with Michoud, who played the whole first half on the sideline.
Yeah, and I've heard some really good things about Tyler LeBlanc. Mostly from indoor, having seen him play in indoor.
So getting some action here in a big spot. His team up 2 and now with the ball. Is Lynch going to circle back here on the near wing. Nearly 2 minutes in third quarter. It's Adam Scala. Full speed to his right. Now 2 men behind the cage for Pinkerton. Fioli picked up by the pole. Sheridan on the switch. Quinolani takes a low pass. Bouncing shot over the cage. Kept in play on the hop by Lynch.
This is Kerr on Lynch. Wow, it takes it right away.
Tried the split dodge, lost the ball, and Kerr scoops it up for Bedford. Good play by the long pole senior. Flipped over to Fletcher, and he's going to exit the cage.
Oh, make that pass. Wow.
Ah, that one reeled in. Overhead with one hand by Helton.
Just run. Just run. There we go.
Avoids 2 Bulldogs. And now Helton gets it back. Spin move here. Trying to avoid Jackson Chase, the sophomore defender. And now Matthews looks over his left shoulder. Coach Bordeaux clapping his hands. Bedford seemingly in business, trying to make this a one-goal game, and he goes down. We play on. Helton is now pushed down.
That's a flag.
And here come the flags. Helton.
Cross-check.
Knocked down. We're going to play on as Matthews gets to the ground ball for Bedford. Both officials threw the flag at the same time upon the hit. First penalty against Pinkerton on the way. Meanwhile, Helton's on the run, fires low. And then goes past the cage, out of play. And now the first penalty of the game coming against the home team with just over 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Pinkerton going to be short-handed here as they look to defend this 6-4 lead.
Somebody Crossman. 2 minutes with a slash. Wow, 2 minutes.
That's Ridge Crossman.
Yep.
The defensive captain. Senior. Who has played well here today. No argument from the youngster either. We saw Bedford take a 30-second penalty back in that first half. Pinkerton cashed in immediately with the lone EMO goal. Bulldogs hoping to do the same here. Matthews twirls the stick. Pass.
Got a
He is
piece.
pulled in. Tyler Doldo, who hasn't played much today. Kaliza. Purnell, and now up top for Matthews.
He has played a lot on the EMO, though, Nick.
Shot here. Quick trigger from Kaliza. Set aside, though, no problem for LeBlanc. Doldo. Even room behind the cage, examining his options. Little jab step, Kaliza. Going to near it, or feed it now for Matthews. Going to step to his right. Far side, Griffin, nowhere to go. Doldo near side. Kaliza took his eye off the ball. It's loose, it's rolling to the sideline, and it's barely kept in play by Purnell. Step down shot for Matthews with the EMO clock winding down. No problem for LeBlanc, who makes a chest high save. Outlet taken by Leeds, the long pole. Going to spin his way across midfield. Pinkerton gets the clear they wanted. Now Fioli takes over.
They are still a man down.
Yep.
There you go. Shut off adjacent. Shut him off.
Astros in no hurry. It must have been a 2-minute penalty, Roger?
It was, yes. Yes.
Coming up at 5 minutes gone, third quarter. Same score as we had at halftime, 6-4.
Well, not a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
here.
I was about to say, Bedford seemingly okay with allowing Pinkerton to rattle off the remainder of the penalty.
Yeah.
And that is the case as we're back to even strength. Coming up at the midway point, third quarter. Well, many in the media, at least, Roger, predicted this one to be low scoring. Had ourselves a 2-1 first quarter in favor of Pinkerton. In favor of Bedford before Pinkerton took the lead on a 5-2 edge in that second quarter. And so far here, now midway through the third, no goals either way since halftime.
Well, clearly after my prediction of the lower high-scoring game against BC and BG on the weekend, clearly not good at that.
Wow.
At least for that game.
At least for that game. But that was about as high scoring as it gets. 20-14 the final. Yeah. Bishop Girton over BC High back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this pass batted away and out of play behind the cage. It'll stay with Pinkerton as we move inside of 6 minutes to go third quarter. Astros hoping for their first 3-goal lead of the game. Shot there, goes off the post. It's loose. And the ground ball ends up with Luke Sy.
They got numbers to do it.
Bedford has it, looking to clear. They're going to go right down the middle with Kerr, the long pole defender, who is still unchallenged here as he makes his way now towards the cage. Across the zone, catching fire. That's the long pole. Nick Hadley. Yep, a senior with a rare shot attempt.
Yeah, he's got a couple goals already, though, this season. He can handle it. Good look by Tristan Kerr, too. Got a step.
Kaliza draws the slide. Pass, though, batted down and now up for grabs. Helton with the inside track. Bedford retains possession. Been a physical game. A lot of bodies on the ground. This two-man officiating crew has, for the most part, let them play. Shot here, LeBlanc out of the cage. It's backed up deep by Kaliza.
Which is fine with me. Let him play.
Yep.
If it's not blatant, let him play.
Inside of 5 minutes. Bedford looking for their first goal since about midway through the second quarter. In fact, their last goal came just inside of 5 minutes to go before halftime. We're now inside of 5 minutes here, third quarter.
We didn't call Gaffney's name much this game.
Pretty good defensive play there by Alec Henry. May have prevented a shot on the wraparound. Meanwhile, Helton to his right. Will fire here. That one low. Foot race again. LeBlanc out of the cage. Good effort, but Bedford's Purnell was there. Both teams have taken their time. Purnell will challenge Crossman here.
Oh, yeah. Step down. Step down.
Griffin bouncer. Not happening. LeBlanc ready to go. Ground ball, though, goes to Bedford. Quick shot. Again goes off the side of the goal. And out of play, but backed up by Purnell, and the Bulldogs will restart quickly. Near side, this is Gaffney. Got the step. Shot again. Rockets off the cage. Now a flag flies. Leeds gets to it for Pinkerton. A whistle will end play here.
Wow, Crossman again.
And you're right. The defensive captain heads right back to the box. It's the second penalty against the senior in this third quarter.
Yeah, cross-check against Ridge Crossman. And I got to tell you, the Astros played some excellent defense there. They really did. Bedford was on the attack and got, 4 or 5 shots. A couple of them went wide, but and LeBlanc had a couple of really good saves there, too.
Yeah. Again, LeBlanc taking over for Michoud at halftime. Stepped right into the fire here, but he's held his own as both teams have been kept off the scoreboard in this third quarter. Coming up at 3.5 to go.
No.
Kaliza trying to find Purnell, I believe, back door.
Yeah, not the right move. The Astros really looked sharp on that man-down defense. They were rotating, and they were in the right spot. Man, they were in really good shape there.
Meanwhile, a dangerous game of catch here near the cage. And the Astros are not quite on the same page as this one is turned over. Seamus McGaffigan, the long pole there, trying to free up his goaltender, LeBlanc, and the two end up turning it over. So Bedford going to stay at this end of the field here as we work down towards 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Bulldogs still trailing 6-4.
And McGaffigan almost had an out and in violation of going through the crease with the ball. Oh, yeah.
Bennett with a bullet.
There it is.
That's Matthews from 15 yards out. The freshman going to get his second goal. He beats LeBlanc low, and Bedford is back within one at 6-5.
And that's going to be just barely an EMO goal. About 3 seconds left in that penalty. And he does beat LeBlanc low. And I got to tell you, I mean, it looks like LeBlanc did not expect this shot to come. Yeah, it looked a little late on it, but good placement again by Matthews, the freshman.
Matthews with 2 goals now to lead Bedford. Frank wins another face-off for Pinkerton. The junior is going to find some space to breathe here along the near wing. Look to get rid of it. Floats one over for Gallo and now heads to the sideline.
Oh, tries to pull a quickie.
So now it's Pinkerton's turn to answer the bell. They've still got a 1-goal lead at 6-5, but have not scored since about the 3-minute mark back in the second quarter. Astros with a win would finish third and host Londonderry in the quarterfinal round later next week.
Good defense.
There's a check here from Helton. Sheridan and Lynch. It's been a physical matchup. 2 seniors. Lynch trying to spin away. Slide comes. Gallo takes a bounce pass, trying to locate it. Does pick it up. Looks to get inside the defender, but a good play by Riccio. Got his long pole up in there. And now Pinkerton will restart from the far wing. This is Fioli. 2 goals in the first half for the senior. And now the final 100 seconds here of the third quarter are before us. Astros trying to regain a 2-goal lead out in front 6-5.
And Ryan Lynch has got some sore hands because Brady Helton really hacked on him on that double. Watch it.
Off the screen, it's Uber. Came flying to his right. A good screen set there, it looked like, from Quinzolani to free up the senior Uber, who cashes in for the second time. And the Astros do get the goal they were seeking. Their lone of this third quarter. 7-5 now. Pinkerton back up 2 with 1:26 to go, third quarter.
That's going to give Michael Uber a hattie here. That's his third of the game. Second? Okay, I hadn't been. All right, but regardless, a good pick, as you mentioned, on the Bulldog defender there, and that opens things up.
Yeah, Uber's lone goal in that second quarter came inside of, I believe, 4 minutes. We'll check it out.
Yeah. I thought I had him on the EMO goal too, with an assist from Lynch.
I believe that was Fioli.
Was it Fioli?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, final minute here. Either way, Pinkerton a 7-5 lead. They've had the advantage at X as expected. And are now looking to work this clock. Roger perhaps thinking last shot here.
Yeah.
Now Gallo is being given a green light to his right. We'll reverse it. Fioli will fire a low one.
Yeah, you're up by 2 here. Why not? Just
40 seconds. If you're Bedford, how eager are you to force the issue here?
They've been playing good defense. Just play your game. Ooh, we're going to have a race here.
We do. It's won by Pinkerton's Lynch. Good effort. Able to beat Sheridan and Fletcher by a step. Meanwhile, Coach Bordeaux sees something he doesn't like. Ran up and down the sideline there and alerts his defense. Meanwhile, Lynch with 30 seconds remaining is going to steer Sheridan directly behind the net. The ball pops out. Fioli goes tumbling. Kerr is in the mix for Bedford, and now it's a pig pile. Fioli escapes the crumb with possession, and we're down to 10 seconds. Shimmy shake. Fioli on the run. Shot denied by Desmond. Quick outlet far side. Uber is there with the hit. A flag flies and a whistle will sound. Uber laid out Luke Tsai. And a penalty on the way against Pinkerton. It'll be their third of this third quarter. And it comes with just over 2 seconds remaining here in the frame as we get another look at that hit.
Yeah, a legal hit, a legal body check, 1 minute. No lock, no extra minute.
Been a physical afternoon, as we predicted. Final 2 seconds. Bedford's okay with holding this one.
As they should.
All right. So the Bulldogs will have it on the other side, trailing 7-5, as we've now played 3 quarters here in Derry. A lot on the line in terms of playoff seeding. The winner, if it's Bedford, they'll be the number 2 seed in next week's Division I tournament. If Pinkerton can pull it off, they'll be the 3 seed. The loser, either way, drops down to 4. We begin to find out what happens next. 4th quarter on the other side. Astros out in front of the Bulldogs, 7-5. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, this one has been about as physical as expected through at least 3 quarters. Pinkerton out in front of Bedford, 7-5 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. Senior Day here in Derry. Pinkerton honoring their graduating class of 2023. That man, Brian O'Reilly, the former head coach and now acting athletic director. Seen a lot of lacrosse over the years, and I'm sure he likes what he's seen so far. As the Astros lead it 7-5. Coach Gaudreau's crew, they trailed early 2-0. Bedford scored the first 2. Back-to-back goals from freshman Brody Helton and Bennett Matthews made it 2-0 Bulldogs. Pinkerton got on the board late in that first quarter with a Richard Wong rebound goal. It was 2-1 Bulldogs after 1. That lead was stretched to 3-1. Luke Purnell. As Griffin goes wide here, Luke Purnell scored a little over a minute into that second quarter. That was the largest Bulldog lead at that point. Then Pinkerton 3 in a row. Benjamin Quintilani, Ryan Lynch, Matt Fioli gave the Astros the lead at 4-3. Zach Griffin scored his lone goal for Bedford to tie it at 4 inside of 5 minutes to go first half. Michael Uber put Pinkerton back in front 5-4, and then Matt Fioli on the EMO gave Pinkerton a 6-4 halftime lead. Defensive-oriented third quarter kept it low scoring. Pinkerton swallowed 3 penalties in that third quarter. Bedford made them pay on 1 as Matthews scored his second goal on an EMO to pull Bedford within 1 at 6-5, less than 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. But a moment later, Michael Uber's second goal gave Pinkerton a 2-goal lead yet again. So that is where we are here, 7-5, with now 1 minute gone by in this fourth quarter. A couple of shots for the Bulldogs go wide, and Bedford will have another crack here as Toscano hits the restart deep behind the cage.
Yeah, so the penalty's over. It's even strength. Invert on Toscano in the open. There it is.
Kaliza. Well, a good play, a good feed there for Toscano. A patient approach. It pays off for Bedford. Kaliza's got his first of the afternoon, and the Bulldogs are back within 1 at 7-6.
Well, there's that leadership and that patience and the experience and everything else you want to throw at a senior captain. But he didn't panic. He played the back X spot just like a pro and finds the open man. And Kaliza in that spot is not going to miss.
Kaliza, who led the club in scoring last year as a sophomore. It's his first goal today. And Bedford is right back in the mix here, trailing 7-6. It's been tight throughout. Neither team has held more than a 2-goal lead. Ball loose, meanwhile. Kerr gets to it. Ubert lost his balance and a glove for Pinkerton. Now Fioli ready on the restart for the home team. Astros honored 10 seniors prior to the start of the game, part of the senior day festivities. A lot of those guys multi-year starters, as we talked about. Bedford, they've got a few starters in their own right, 5 captains. But as we talked about, Roger, extensively throughout the season, both teams are really programs that reload rather than rebuild.
They do.
Meanwhile, Uber, a step down, going to go 5-hole. Beats Ian Fletcher from way downtown. He's got his third. There's the Hattie. And the Astros make it a 2-goal game again at 8-6.
Yeah, and that's a carbon copy of the prior goal. Just a nice, low, worm burner type shot. And again, I don't know if Fletcher was really expecting that. As he has a wide open look here. Maybe he got a little bit of a screen there by the defender, Helton. Yeah, probably. But yeah, that's that far out, man.
Uber, you've seen him on this field in the past, Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Pull the trigger from deep. One of those shots from prior seasons is still in our intro.
Yes.
So that is not necessarily surprising that he pulls the trigger. He's given the green light from that deep.
Yeah, we had Spellman on the intro. We
That's
have
right.
Druin on the intro. I know we've changed it up a little bit, and we've got some different stuff there, but Pinkerton certainly has made their mark in the last 3 years on our intros.
Of course, they're seeking their first championship since 2019. That, of course, is the big goal every season, seemingly, with the Astros, as they're constantly on the short list of Division I contenders. This one up for grabs. Quintilani going to keep it here.
Yeah, Gallo took a good shot right across the stomach on that dodge. He's feeling it.
Now 3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Coach Gaudreau watching intently with his hands on his hips as Quintilani looks for a man back door. Lynch not quite ready. That one gets away from everybody. Ends up out of play, and Bedford takes over.
I like what Quintilani did there, though. He really muscled his way into the middle. Helton played very good defense on him, and he saw the open man. He just did not get a good pass to him. Always like when you look inside for the crease guy. Means you're really working the ball and you're working the defense. You start working the inside like that, more often than not, the slide from the defense is very much apprehensive of leaving home in future plays. Nice move.
Upstairs, count it for Matthews. The freshman trying to fire up the sideline. That one over the right shoulder of LeBlanc, and it's back to a 1-goal difference yet again. At now 8-7 Astros.
Boy, the freshman's not looking like a freshman anymore. That is just a great placement. Again, I think we've talked about this before. You can see the shadows here. The sun's got to be in LeBlanc's eye here. He goes the opposite side and then goes up to the strong side. I don't think he really saw that.
Heading towards the bottom of the 6 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. That sun is starting to get low in the sky.
Pretty intense.
All right. Already 4 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. And it's tight at 8-7. Quintilani wide open in the middle. Going to bounce that one. And beat Fletcher over the shoulder to give Pinkerton a 2-goal lead yet again, now at 9-7. As the Astros come back with a quick counter punch to rebuild the 2-goal lead.
Well, we just said it. And they're playing the inside and they're opening things up. And I'll watch for the Bulldogs to tighten up a little bit. Here it is. We're getting a little stall there, but could not see who the assist was to or from.
Quintilani still being congratulated on the Astros sideline. Meanwhile, this one up for grabs. It's going to roll on the carpet to the far side. A lot of elbows being thrown. And eventually it's Bedford's face-off man, Dalton Roberto, who comes up with it. A much-needed win at X there, Roger, for Bedford as they trail by 2. but now have possession.
Yes, indeed. And I don't think Roberto has not won one clean since the first quarter.
Until a moment ago. And Frank has been as good as advertised for Pinkerton. Got off to maybe a little bit of a slow start with a couple of technical violations back in that first quarter.
Yeah.
But has been living up to the reputation, so to speak, ever since.
Yeah.
Has given the Astros what they've needed here to build this 9-7 lead as we approach now the midway point, fourth quarter.
It's been a long time since we've seen 6 violations by the 2 face-off guys. That's a combination of the 2. But
meanwhile, Griffin steps on the gas. A little shimmy shake near his side. Gallo not biting. And now back behind the cage for the Bulldogs pool. Matthews, freshman's been stellar today with 3 goals to lead Bedford, including one a moment ago here in this fourth quarter. He's going to welcome the contact here. Across the zone, Toscano looking for one. That one whizzes by the goaltender, LeBlanc to his left. It's backed up by Purnell and will stay here.
Good take.
Purnell out in front. Griffin absorbs a hit from behind. The Bedford fans wanted a whistle.
No
penalty. As we play on here, move inside of 6 minutes to go. Kaliza being hacked at by the long pole. Leeds. Goal line extended near side, drops the right shoulder, and there's Leeds. Comes over as the second defender to force this one loose. And then, Bedford able to get to it in the end. His Poole rifles one too strong. Tried to hook up with Toscano. It ends up out of play. Lynch anxiously waiting for the restart, and now Will. Bulldog defense able to get back, however. And now Pinkerton in control, a 2-goal lead. Lynch trying to muscle that one towards the net, ends up wide. But no problem on the backup for Scala. And again, Roger, the Astros in a comfortable spot here, up 2 with the ball as we head towards 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, watch them to do just what you're seeing now. Just a nice spread offense, nothing crazy. Uber, why not?
Oh, Uber, that one deep. Nearly 20 yards out from straightaway. No problem for Fletcher.
Yeah, Gaudreau cannot be happy with that.
Meanwhile, Toscano right down the middle. Shot and a save by LeBlanc. Beautiful play by the goaltender. Makes the dashing save to his left. And now it's the other way. Astros on the move. Gallo a shot. That one goes wide. And it's backed up by 2 Astros, both Lynch and Fioli over there to keep it at this end. Some end-to-end action here late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, poor Sean Toscano. He's had multiple shots in this game, and that was the best one of all, and he just makes a great save. Ooh, could have been a push there.
LeBlanc, who did not play in the first half, has looked good here in the second half in cage.
Coach Gaudreau is not happy.
The officials are swallowing the whistles here.
Big
down
bang.
the middle, Purnell avoids one hit, tries to spin away, and when a scoop shot goes just over the crossbar. LeBlanc out of cage to challenge Poole, but
timeout.
Bedford's going to keep it, and we're going to get a timeout here with just over 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Tempo picking up here with now 4:16 remaining. Both teams are going to take their breath.
Yeah, this is a good timeout too.
Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. By Spectrum Monthly, powerful local advertising solutions. Find out more at SpectrumMonthly.com. And finally by Roger Howe Real Estate, part of the Bean Group. Email Roger at rhowrealestate.com or call 603-247-1583. Nick Anastas with Roger Howe, live from Pinkerton Academy. The Astros have led most of the way, trailed 2-1 after one, but wrestled the lead away from Bedford in that second quarter and took a 6-4 lead at the break. Stretched that to 7-5 to begin this fourth quarter. And the margin is still 2 here with 4:16 to go. Bedford with possession, trying to slice the 2-goal lead in half. As they now are fighting a two-front war, both Pinkerton and the clock.
I think you try to work it from this side on the goaltender's left side with the Sunfield going for you. Good slide by the Astros.
Poole going to rifle it far side for Purnell. And now Gaffney looking for space, trying to draw the defender Ronan Connors out. Connors, the sophomore, up for the challenge.
Got to find it.
Helton avoids the hit from Leeds. Griffin back for Helton. Down to 3.5 to go here, fourth quarter. Astros looking to close it out. They would be the tournament's number 3 seed with a win. It would drop Bedford to 4, and Exeter would jump up to 2. Of course, BG already cementing the top spot. Up top, Gaffney. Shot and score! The junior attackman James Gaffney goes upstairs, and it's a 1-goal game again at 9-8.
Hey, listen, that prior sequence before they got the ball back, you could see the Bedford Bulldogs with 2 attackmen behind goal line extended. They wanted to protect this ball no matter what. On the restart, you could see Coach Howe, the offensive coordinator, directing traffic for what he saw, and that's opening up the middle again up top for Gaffney with an assist from Puliza.
But a big win for Cole Frank is going to give this one to the Astros. The junior, widely regarded as the best face-off man in the state, proves it there. And the Astros, still with a 1-goal lead on the board, take this clock down inside of 3 minutes. Bedford going to have to force the issue defensively. Astros looking to spread out the Bulldogs. Is Fioli trying to lure the defender Kerr deeper and deeper here along the near wing. Zigging and zagging in front of the home bench, Fioli, who scored twice, got the stick in the left hand. Kerr, the long pole, trying to stay with him. Here's a split dodge. Fioli still has it. Game of keep away is going to drain the clock down to 2:25. Fioli gets inside of Kerr. And throws
critical.
it away. Pass sailed on him, tried to hook up with Scala.
They were 18 seconds from having to keep it in the box, and they would have been golden, but now the turnover.
So Bedford, a chance to tie.
Good clear.
First things first is the clear. They get it done. Toscano down the middle. Going to avoid a couple of defenders to his right, pull it out, and now the timeout is called by Bordeaux in
emphatically
dramatic fashion. First-year head coach sprinting down the sidelines as if he was still wearing a St. Anselm uniform from a few years ago.
He's very mild-mannered. He doesn't talk in a loud, booming voice, so he had to be, put a little body language to it.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, he got the attention of the officials.
Yeah.
For sure. The timeout comes with 2:02 to go.
He looked like George Brett coming out of the dugout back in the 70s on the pine tar incident.
He did. Well, he's made an impact. Coach Cameron, part of our program, of course, Monday nights, FNL Lacrosse, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. He said his vote for Coach of the Year was going to Coach Bordeaux of Bedford, given what he's done here. Win or lose today, still an improvement over last year, and again, a top 4 seeding either way. The best in a while for Bedford.
Yeah, I would have to agree with him there. The only other coach that I think, obviously, Coach Gaudreau and Coach Brewster, Coach Cameron, all do and have done tremendous jobs. Dave Wiedenfeld from Londonderry, he's a first-year coach, young guy. But to see this Bedford program go from where it was in 1 year to this new regime that has really pumped a lot of energy into these boys, and Currently, they're in second place. They got an opportunity to stay in second and lock it up here tonight. That's quite an accomplishment.
All right. We're down to 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Bedford has trailed most of the way and have not held the lead since about midway through the second quarter. Chance to tie it here as they look for their second straight goal. Astros defense on senior day, hoping for a stop.
Oh, he had it.
Kaliza elects to go back out. Now it's circled here near wing. Matthews will gain a catch with Purnell. Given room by Leeds. Back to Purnell, far side Toscano. Everybody's got a touch here. Down to 95 seconds.
They need a pop here.
Matthews going to drop it down here. Baseline extended, goal line extended rather. Kaliza behind the cage. Far slot, up top, Toscano. Matthews thought about it. Bouncing shot goes wide. And out of play, the freshman eyeing his fourth goal of the afternoon. Misfires, but Bedford will keep it here. We're down to a minute 13. Astro fans stomping on the bleachers here, trying to cheer on the defense. Bulldogs again showing patience. Pinkerton coming out a little bit here to challenge. We're giving Purnell some room. Out of 50 seconds, Toscano picks it up off the bounce, goes behind the cage, 45 seconds. Coach Bordeaux trying to draw up a play in real time, it looks like. Pass intercepted. Cam leads the long pole, gets to it. He's hit on the release. Whistle and a violation against Bedford. 32 seconds. Astros restart it. Clock running inside of 30 seconds.
Got to keep it in.
Pinkerton with a 9-8 lead. Out. Lynch is out of the box.
Yeah.
And this one will go Bedford's way. Seemed like Lynch wasn't aware, right?
Yeah, he may not have been aware, but he did step in the box with the ball and then immediately stepped out. It was no question about that. It's hard for Lynch to see that unless he could hear Vinnie Peroni say that. Official Richard, he called to keep it in over here.
All right, down to 15 seconds. Down the middle, Sheridan. Bedford, one last ditch effort to try and tie it. Poole down to 10 seconds, gets the step. Poole down the middle, shot. Set aside by LeBlanc, and then LeBlanc is going to scoop this one up. LeBlanc runs behind the cage, launches a long pass, and Pinkerton is going to hang on. The Astros defeat Bedford in the regular season finale on senior day by a final score of 9-8. It was tight the whole way. Neither team led by more than 2. Bedford a couple of chances to tie it in the final 2 minutes. And like that, the Astros wrap up the season with another win. 13-5 now, as they will finish as the number 3 seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Bedford, it's their first loss in 5 games, as they slip to 11-5, and will end up as the number 4 seed in the upcoming D1 tournament. What a good game today here. Had the playoff feel, a lot of energy, a lot of hits. And in the end, a 1-goal difference as close as it gets, 9-8 Pinkerton.
Yeah, I mean, you look at how this game was played by both teams. We had a little bit of everything. We had defensive struggles in the first and in the third. We had a run of goals by Pinkerton in the second. And in this third, Bedford scored their 3 against Pinkerton's 2, and that was the difference. Again, the Bedford Bulldogs walk away with a 1-goal loss against a top 4 or 5 team, and that's got to be a tough ride home. But at the same time, they are at the level of the Exeters and the Pinkertons out there. They are on the brink.
All right, lots to get to in a moment. As we recap this one, stats, highlights, analysis, and a final look at the out-of-town scoreboard as well. Pinkerton, a 9-8 win over Bedford. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
So Bedford will end up playing Merrimack.
All right, 9-8 is our final. Pinkerton able to hang on in that fourth quarter to defeat Bedford by a final score of 9-8. Nick, can I ask this Roger Howe with you here in Derry? Well, senior night looked like it was going to get spoiled, at least early on, as Bedford struck first midway through that first quarter. Back-to-back goals from the two freshman starters, Brody Helton and Bennett Matthews, gave Bedford that early 2-0 lead. Pinkerton got on the board in the closing seconds of the first quarter, just 8 seconds remaining. Richard Wong got a rebound. It was 2-1 Bedford after one. Bulldogs stretched that to 3-1. Luke Purnell, just over a minute into the second quarter, scored his lone goal of the game. Then Pinkerton put together a run, 3 straight. Benjamin Quintilani, Ryan Lynch tied the game at 3, and then Matt Fioli gave Pinkerton their first lead just past the midway point second quarter. That lasted only a few seconds. Zach Griffin came back a moment later for Bedford to tie it at 4. Michael Uber put the home team back in front 5-4 with a late goal about 4 minutes to go before halftime. Then the lone penalty either way in that first half ended up being a costly one for Bedford, as Pinkerton's Matt Fioli cashed in with his second goal just seconds into that penalty. So the lone EMO goal goes to Pinkerton, and that ends up being the difference in the first half. 6-4 was the Astro lead at halftime. Bedford's Bennett Matthews gets his second on an EMO. Pinkerton commits 3 penalties in the third quarter after going penalty free in the first half. Again, Matthews cashes in and Bedford's back within 1 at 6-5. That was with less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Inside of a minute and a half remaining, Michael Uber gets his second to make it 7-5, and that was the Astro lead after 3 quarters. And then back and forth we went in that fourth quarter. Derek Kaliza scores his lone goal early on, brings Bedford back within 1 at 7-6. Uber's hat trick rebuilt the 2-goal lead to 8-6 for Pinkerton. And then Matthews gets his hattie about 2 minutes later. Bedford's back within 1 again at 8-7. Quinzolani makes it 9-7 Pinkerton, just 30 seconds after the Matthews goal. And then Bedford's James Gaffney scores a pretty one to pull within 1. Bedford trailed 9-8 at that point at the 3:14 mark. Bedford got the ball back with 2:02 to go, called a timeout, but were kept off the scoreboard. Big goaltending in the second half by Tyler LeBlanc, the senior on his way to Newbury, who did not play in that first half. Curtis Michaud played the first 2 quarters, the Riviere commit. And ultimately that is enough for Pinkerton to eke one out. 9-8 is the final. The Astros finished the year at 13-5. They will be the number 3 seed in next week's Division I tournament. Bedford with a loss. They break up their 4-game win streak. They fall to 11-5 and will be the number 4 seed. That means the Bulldogs will host Merrimack in the quarterfinal round in the battle of the 4 versus 5. Tomahawks were playing Nashua South today, but the result didn't matter there. They were locked in as the 5 seed. And again, we'll face Bedford. Pinkerton, again, finishes as the 3 seed. They will host crosstown rival Londonderry after the Lancers finish in the 6th spot at 8-8 on the season. Exeter is now the 2. They will host Dover in a Seacoast battle. And, of course, 2-time defending Division I champion Bishop Girton is once again the 1 seed at 14-3. They will host Concord after the Crimson punched their ticket earlier this week as the 8th seed. So there it is, the quarterfinal round all set to go in Division I, and the quarterfinals will begin late next week. So a long period of time off, nearly a week for these playoff teams in Division I.
Yeah, I always hated this time of year as a coach, having the long 3-day holiday in between the playoffs. Guys can lose their focus. They go up, unless you have a practice, on one of those days and you pull them back in, they go up to the lake and they do all kinds of crazy things, and next thing you know, you're not the same team when you come back for the playoffs. However, let's get back to this game. Curtis Michaud and LeBlanc tallied up to really play well in goal today. Let's give Tyler LeBlanc a shout-out because his energy and his enthusiasm and his hustle on shots to get out of bounds, he dived several times to try and get the possession back. Good for him. The other key to this game was Cole Frank again. The Bedford face-off was just non-existent. He won 16 out of the 20 face-offs today. For those that are you out there checking my math, there was no face-off to start the half, if you recall. The
fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, my bad, yes, to start off the EMO for them. But, hey, both teams looked really good. Bedford has no reason to hang their hat. They had opportunities in this game. I want to tell you that I think they outshot the Astros, and they just didn't get it on net as well in that last, 2 minutes, 18 seconds, I think it was, when Lynch stepped out of the box and they got the ball back.
Right.
And they retained possession literally for the entire 2 minutes and 18 seconds with a, give or take over the midfield line. But good game by both teams. I think both teams are ready for the playoffs.
Speaking of the playoffs, the Division I quarterfinals get going a week from tomorrow, Saturday, June the 3rd. Semifinals will be next Wednesday, June the 7th, and, of course, Championship Sunday comes your way June 11th. Of course, for us here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, we will be on the road next week on the girls' side in the Division I preliminaries on Tuesday night, 5 o'clock Kristen Cameron will join me in the booth for that matchup. Not quite
That's
sure
awesome.
which prelim game we're going to cover, but we'll have that figured out. And, of course, no show this Monday because of Memorial Day. We will have our final show the following Monday, which, of course, is June the 5th. So FNL Lacrosse, usually Mondays at 6 Eastern, will take place June the 5th. And that will be our final episode as well. Roger, your final thoughts on what was a great game here this afternoon, 9-8 Pinkerton.
We have been very fortunate this year.
Spoiled almost,
we have
yeah.
really been spoiled. I mean, we were just talking to one of the Astros parents here about how we pick the games and do we have a schedule. And you know, a lot of our audience, parents, grandparents, they're learning more and more about what we do here, and we get great comments and things like that. But when we have picked these games out, especially the later ones in the year, every single game has just been a terrific display of the talent that these boys in New Hampshire have exhibited, and everything has been competitive. We have not really had any blowouts. It's just been it's so satisfying for me, who's been involved in high school lacrosse for 25 years. It's fantastic.
Giving you that fix for sure.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. And I mean, I was about to say, you know me, I got a comment, on something sometimes. When you said the advertisement for my business,
Yes.
I wanted it, and you said email them. I'm like, yeah, definitely email me. Don't call me,
No.
because this weekend,
That's right.
if you are a lacrosse junkie, this is your weekend. You've got NCAA playoffs.
Right.
You're coming into the playoffs for the high school lacrosse programs. So yeah, I'm all about it, and it certainly keeps me occupied.
Appreciate you jumping on board with the rest of the sponsors. Of course, Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, New Hampshire iPhone Repair, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, Spectrum Monthly, and, of course, Roger Howe Real Estate. Want to thank Brian O'Reilly and his staff here at Pinkerton for giving us the green light, making it easy to broadcast, as usual. We appreciate
Great
the
venue
hospitality here at Pinkerton. And, of course, want to thank our crew here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Matt Beals back on the sideline, doing a great job providing us with that sideline angle in the trench, for sure. We appreciate that. And, of course, our on-site technician / videographer, John Barron, back in the driver's seat and did a great job upstairs tonight bringing us the aerial views. Of course, the whole thing was put together by the man behind the curtain, our director back in the Beals Insurance Studios, the Wizard of Replay, Ben Beals. And, of course, the whole thing is overseen by the unseen hand, the big man in the big chair, executive producer, Steve Beals. For my partner, Roger Howe, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 9, Bedford 8. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.